Consuelo Vanderbilt was the daughter of William and Alma Vanderbilt. Alma had a love of money and power. She was able to achieve the money with her marriage, but she would use her only daughter to gain the power she craved. Consuelo was raised in luxury as her father was millionaire due to his railroad stakes, but she lived in a gilded cage. Her mother controlled her whole life, her schooling, her social life. Even her friends had to be approved by her mother. Her mother was so strict she would whip her with a riding crop for every minor incident. When it came time for Consuelo to find a husband, as was expected of her, she had no choice in the matter. Though she fell in love with Winthrop Rutherford, her mother did not approve. She wanted her daughter to have a title. She felt that a title would elevate her family to the level they deserved. Her mother was so determined to get her a high-ranking title that she would turn down as many as 5 proposals before landing on Charles Spencer Churchill, 9th Duke of Marlborough. He was a duke, but his estate had very little money and was starting to crumble. It was rumored that he too was in love with someone else. Out of obligation, he gave up his happiness to marry a rich wife so he could secure his family legacy. He got exactly what he needed out of Consuelo. He would receive about $2.5 million for the dowry, or close to $92 million in today's money. They both reluctantly walked down the aisle in 1895. Neither had high hopes for their marriage, as they both knew their new spouse loved another. They had 2 sons in the following years, one in 1897 and one in 1898. It was only a few short years before they were living separate lives. By 1900, she had admitted to several affairs. She would even try to run off and elope with 2 of them, failing both times. After the second attempt to run away in 1906, her and her husband decided it was time to divorce. They would continue to live separately until their divorce was finalized in 1921. During the divorce and annulment processes, Alma would come to the defense of her daughter, admitting that she forced her into the marriage. Once Alma was able to admit she was wrong, Consuelo was able to forgive her, giving both of them the ability to move forward in life to build a better relationship. When all was finished, Consuelo and the Duke would share the trust that had been set up during their marriage. Each would receive $100,000 per year, which would then pass to their oldest son once they were no longer living. In July 1921, Consuelo would marry her second husband, Latin. Jacques Balsan, a record-breaking pioneer French pilot and textile manufacturing heir. In 1932, they would build a house in Florida, a great manor they would call Casa Alma, after her mother. They had a happy marriage until his death in 1956. In 1957, she would sell the house and move to Long Island. This is where she would stay until her death in 1964.